Hello and welcome to New Junction. You join me today on the May layout update, and blimey has it been a while. It has been an extremely busy couple of months since the last one, and hopefully you'll see some of the progress in this video. First of all though, I'm just going to run you through a few things I've done before I get on with the layout tour, and then I'll show you the real progress for all those who haven't been keeping up with my latest videos. The obvious one is back in March. I joined Tony, my local model shop owner, I should say, and we, as you can probably see from the footage, we went to the London Festival of Modelling, and we loaded up his van, as you can see, and we set up a stall, and I helped him with that over the weekend. Now, I was planning on doing a bit more filming than I did, but it was absolutely mental, absolutely nuts. So many people were visiting A, his stall anyway, and B, coming to say hello to me. Which was absolutely fantastic. I got to meet lots of people within the industry still. I got to meet the people behind Cavalax, and they showed me they arranged to show me some secret projects and some up-to-date information on their new projects coming forward, so they're definitely one to watch. They also brought me a sample of one of their wagons to have a look at the detail myself, and they're definitely one to watch. Also met the guys at Acura Scale again. They had a new announcement with some modern wagons, so you may be seeing them very soon on this layout. As usual, the highlight for me, you get to catch up with fellow YouTubers. I actually got to meet Charlie Bishop this time from Chadwick. Now that's the first time I've met him, but absolute pleasure. And of course, Richard from Everard Junction was there as well. He is everywhere. And I, as always, pester him for a photo, as you can see. But all in all, the show was a fantastic insight. Like I said, met so many people, yeah, it was very nice to get a industry side view of the industry. In other news, I'm bound to tell you, for those of you who like a model show, you've got to come to the Worley Open Day, which is on the 7th of July. It's a Sunday. Now that's going to be on for, I think, 5 hours. I think from 11 till 4. You've got to check details. There will be a link in the description. And of course, this poster, which I'll put on the screen now. It's not only a chance for you to come and see the Warley Model Railway Club for free, I should add, but we're also having they're also having a little bit of a diorama competition. Now, a bit like a mini Great Model Railway Challenge. And there'll be, as far as I know, 3 or 4 teams. On Team 1 is myself and Everard Junction. I think Team 2 is Dean Park Station, David and Andy, the Secretary of the Warley Club. And I think Team 3 is Cheeky Tech Gary and David from Scotsman Junction. There is a 4th team, but I'm not at liberty to tell you who they are. But you will know who they are. So that's going to be quite exciting. And that's definitely one to watch out for. And as I say, we're all going to be there. We're not going to be hidden away behind some screen. You can come and talk to us throughout the day and come say hello, and I suppose chat to the people that you see normally on your screens. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't know about you, but I'm probably going to make a right mess of it. And it's all for a good cause. So the dioramas in the diorama competition we make will be auctioned off at the end, and that'll all go to charity. So all for a good cause. I know a lot of you are, particularly those viewers who are on Facebook, are also in the group, the Model Rail Network group. The channel is about to start a new series of video, which I believe start at the same day this video is out. So go and check that out, and yeah, hopefully it'll be of interest for you. So, right, I've bored you to death enough. Now it's time to get on with what you're all here for, and that's the layout update. So, enjoy. So here we are on the infamous corner where I always start my layout updates. The trains this evening are my my favourite Virgin liveried HST, as you can see. I've got a Cross Country 170, and I've also got the Flying Scotsman Rail Tour, and that's whizzing round just on the outside there. I think because of all the building works I've been doing on the station side of the layout, I've not actually had my Flying Scotsman or HST running for probably is near good on 2 months now, in reality. So it's really nice to be able to get to a point where I can briefly pause the work for you and get the trains running and get some real trains running, some long ones. In terms of the layout on this side, not much has been done, as you'd imagine. I have slowly started, as you can see on the background, just started adding some seafoam sponges. So not the most exciting thing in the world, however, they do make the world of difference to the eye, and they really do add something. I do really like them when I see them on other people's layouts. Ooh, if I can control my gimbal. As you can see just in the background, they make a very nice subtle change and break up the scenery very nicely. And if we come round past the signal box, you can see that more are making their way onto the background, and as the trains pass, hopefully you'll agree, it just adds a certain something and breaks the view up. So moving on, now here we do have some work. If we go straight to the heritage line now, as you can see, if I move this wagon out of the way, as you can see, we've got some oil and grime and soot and mess starting to appear on the track work. I did do a video on this for those who've missed it. There's also some way you'd imagine them to be on the station for when a steam engine pulls in on the heritage line. The biggest work, I was playing around with the actual shed itself. And as you can see here, the scene at the back, it's very black and oily, more seafoam bushes, and I think it's starting to lend itself very nicely. I need to add a few more details. I need a fence to sort of divide up the scene a bit, but it's just starting to come together. I need some more of that generic heritage line debris for in front of the fence here, I think. And as you can see, more seafoam bushes at the back, and these were the ones that were the focus of the video I did on how to make seafoam bushes. So you can see in the actual engine sheds here, we've got a Lord Nelson class engine. This was loaned to me by Chris from the channel CA850. Now this was to go with a review video, an under closer inspection video of the Hornby's new Lord Nelson's Lord Nelson. But unfortunately I corrupted the memory card again, so what a shame. It's another video that's in limbo. Currently I've managed to get the footage back, just not the sound, so if you're lucky, and if it's something people would want to see, even though it's a bit late to the party, I will redub that, maybe shorten it down a bit and bring you that. This was more just to compare an older Bachmann tooling to the new Hornby model, and it was a very nice model, to be fair, as you'd expect. So coming round, you see a bit more of the tarred gravel there. Nothing has been done on this corner, as you'd imagine. And like all good heritage lines, you've got a nice high-speed train waiting to come into the station. Very prototypical. But now, as we come round, the bit you all want to see, onto the station side of the layout, I will say I'm torn for my next mini-series, because the mini-series of the pilot sidings did very well, and you seem to like it. I was going to do this corner for the next mini-series, which will feature a bridge of some sort, potentially a motorway bridge, obviously the finishing of the bottom half of the retaining wall here, and then that'll lead into the preparation for my new scene here, which is still top secret, but it's well underway. So as we follow this HST in, you can see there's the new pilot sidings in all their glory. And a lot of you seem to like the series of, I think it was 5 or 6 videos I did on that. I did try to cram in the updates for you. It took a lot of time because I was waiting for things to dry before I could continue, etc. And it was quite a tight schedule, so you'll notice my videos have dropped off this last sort of week and a half, just while I sort of recoup myself before I start in the next one. Interestingly enough, one of the most common questions I got for that series was, how did this van get into that compound? I think a lot of people only saw that gate and not realise there's an entire track coming across the back, and there's another gate here. Now I know what a lot of you will say is, how does the van get there? And the simple answer is Chinook helicopter. There you go. But now, as you can see, it's an entire track, which I probably should have shown slightly better on the original how-to series. But as you can see, that's how the van gets in. How it gets out again doesn't really matter, it's not real, is it? But I thought that was quite funny. So as the HSTs come back round, I'll stop waffling, and as you can see, the pilot siding's gone, and now we're on to the station of New Junction yet again. Now, although this looks fairly similar to the last time, I have been working behind the scenes on the progress. So if I pull you to the right slightly, as this 170 comes past, you can see now that all the groundwork between the outside loop of track there and the wall has now been filled with ballast. I think this was the Hatton's modern style fine ballast. And that just completes the scene really nicely, and it's what I wanted to do before I got on with the canopy. So what I'm going to do is move around my roof beams and give you a closer look. You're getting a lot of HST this evening. As you can see, that's another angle of the pilot sidings. I'm really happy with them and how they've come out with. I wanted to try and differentiate them between the actual main line, and as a lot of you know, I've not got an airbrush, so a lot of my track and things, I try and make them look ever so slightly used, but I don't want to make it dirty. But I think I've done an alright job, in my mind anyway, of making the sidings look very different to the main line, especially the track work and things, and I'm happy with it, and it all works, which surprises me. Particularly the two lamps, as you can see there and there, they work as well, which I'll show you in a moment, and of course the buffers as well. Coming along to this little compound scene, now believe it or not, this was at first I was a bit puzzled with what to do, because I wanted the fence line and things to follow the line of the track just to complement it. So for example, if I show you a bit further afield, you can see it sort of nicely complements as it goes round, but it left this awkward sort of shape to fill in. So thanks to Justin Scale Model Scenery, we did have an answer with the idea of this porter cabin. Now believe it or not, this porter cabin was only a couple of £, and it is a well, a little small card kit, I suppose. I've modified it up ever so slightly, added some of his old railway signs, a stop sign, etc., and more seafoam bush just into the back, and tried to fill in the gaps with some moss on the side of the cabin, as you can see. Added some safety signs, and from a distance, so normal viewing height, sorry to shaking you around this evening, I think it looks alright, to be honest. And for now, that scene's quite a nice one. So as we come round back into the station, one of the biggest achievements, which is actually probably quite a relatively small thing, is the platform lights are now installed. So finally I have full platform lighting, and also some issues I had with the original canopy lighting, which was stopping me continue with the canopy, are now done. Now I did get a chap in for that, a friend of mine, just to help me out with some of the soldering, particularly on the underside of the baseboard. I don't know if you ever tried to wire in a Gauge Master street lamp, but they give you probably 2 inches of wire, and that on the underside of a baseboard is absolutely a nightmare to try and wire in. But now they're in, I'm really pleased, and I feel it's a big job that's been completed, but we'll see. I'll turn the lights off for you and let you have a look in a moment. Going a bit further on, as you can see at the background, my billboards don't have any posters in them this time. The first one, which has been won by my competition winner, which was a channel called Chris and Archie's Model Railways. As you can see on screen now, this is the billboard we're going to put up, and they won that in my Christmas competition. So once that finally arrives, I'll stick it up there for all to see. But if you fancy checking them out, the link is in the description. So more progress for you. In terms of the actual canopy, which I've literally put back on the layout for this video, it has been off. I have been starting to work on some roofing, but as a lot of the work has been the ground-based stuff, I will be doing this on the side, and if it warrants its own video or series or things. I'll see how it goes. I'll do them separately. However, you'll probably see the progress on this on the next video update. But otherwise, I'm glad the station's all back together. So all in all, I think the scene is coming together quite nicely. As you can see, the pilot sidings in the distance do add a certain something. I think once at the rear of the scene, the bridge is done and the back wall's complete, I think that'll start to really start to fill the scene in. I'm also next going to be doing the groundwork just here, at least level with the platform. So I think, as you see, my board's filling up finally, and we're finally getting a bit of progress. Other jobs, apart from obviously filling in just in front of the select here in the foreground and then the back, I need to start doing some work on the above the retaining wall there, and also on the cantinery for this side of the scene. A couple of new releases. Obviously you've got Cavalax with the Class 91s, which will be a while, but you've also got Bachmann with the Class 90 coming out soon, so I can't have them running around the layout with no cantinery, so that's going to be interesting. I learned a long time ago when I did the first half of the layout, don't rush into the cantinery, because as soon as you've done it, it gets in the way, so you can't do anything else. So I'm going to try and do the groundwork at the back here, and then I'll do the fronting, because I won't need to get to this bit anymore. Right, so I think that's all for this layout update. I'm now going to hand myself to myself and I suppose sign out from the video, but hopefully it's been worth you watching and giving you a bit of insight into the progress on the layout. Hopefully by the time we have the next layout update, I'll have even more to show you. So I'm going to hand myself to myself. So that's the end of the layout update this time. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. One thing I have missed off the list is I haven't updated my picture board. I wanted to save that till last. I've not updated it yet with all the events I've been to. I've literally just been too busy recently. Had far too much on, but I will endeavour to get that sorted, especially for the next one. One thing I will say though is I did have a very surprising message from Freightliner of all people, and they wanted to send me some sort of small posters to put on it, as I have done bits with them in the past, and they quite literally did. So they've sent me a big wad of posters to see which one I want to put on my to my wall, and of course they're in the best Freightliner livery. But I'll get on with that for the next one and get that updated. It needs it. Right, big thank you as always for watching the video. Hopefully it's been enjoyable to someone, and I look forward to bringing you the new mini-series, and I'll see you in the next video. Right, take care guys, see you later. Bye.